Hi guys, if you go ahead and open up your math workbooks, you're going to open to page 363. That's 363. You're going to see a paper. We're starting on lesson number 14. We are analyzing and comparing three-dimensional shapes. So we're finally getting into shapes in this class. Super exciting. You've got 3 different columns of a bunch of different shapes, and we need to see which one does not belong. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to cover the other columns here. Let's see if we can see that okay. Okay. And you're going to look at column number 1. Column number 1 has shapes that look alike, but there's one that is completely different. If you look at the blue shape, it looks like a rectangle. Purple shape is a rectangle. Orange is a long, skinny rectangle. The green is a rectangle, but then we've got this little triangle that does not belong. On this page, what we're going to do is we're going to put an X on any of the shapes that do not belong in the column. So if you look at the column one more time, which one doesn't belong? If you chose the yellow triangle, you are correct. So go ahead and put a nice X on that yellow triangle. And you'll see that the rest of the rectangles belong in the same family together. Now let's move over to the next column. Let's see if we can. Alrighty. In this column, you're going to start with an orange triangle, a skinny green triangle, a square, a blue triangle, and a purple triangle. If you look to see at which one doesn't belong, which one are we going to mark an X on? If you chose the green square, you are correct. And make sure to remember to write an X on the one that does not belong in that family. Okay, now I'm going to take the paper away completely so that you can see the very last column. Again, we're starting with a red square. We have a blue circle, a yellow square, a purple square, and a brown square. Now we got to look at which shape does not belong, which one does not have sides, which one has curves instead of the sides. And if you chose that circle, you are correct. Go ahead and mark a nice big X on that to let us know that that is the one that does not belong in this family. Go ahead and turn the page. We are now on page 364. And this is where we are going to sort. And when you sort, you are putting the different shapes into their correct groups. So if we've got all cones, we need to put the cones together. We need to put cubes together. And we need to put the spheres together. If you see now, we're going into shapes that pop out. Those are the three-dimensional shapes that we were talking about. Instead of them being flat, like a flat piece of paper, now they're going to pop out kind of like the globe that we have in our classroom or the volcano cone that we have in our classroom. If you look at number 1, it says circle the shapes that are the same color. We are going to sort by color now. So if you look at the different shapes, there are a couple that have the same color. And if you guessed green, you are correct. So go ahead and mark a circle around each of the green shapes. They are all shapes, but we sorted them by color. And now they made their own group of color, of the color green. Now go down to number 2. You're going to mark an X on the shape that does not belong. If you look at the cylinders, they are all cylinders and they are all blue. So we cannot sort them by color. We cannot sort them by shape. What we are going to sort them in is their size. So you have a big cylinder, nice and tall, another tall cylinder, another tall cylinder, and then a short cylinder. Which one do you think we are going to circle? We are going to circle all the tall cylinders. Make a nice long large circle. All the tall cylinders belong together. The short cylinder is the only one that does not match, or we cannot sort it to that group. Go ahead and turn your booklet over. This is beginning lesson 1, and we are going to identify and describe spheres. A sphere is kind of like the globe that we have in our classroom, or a ball that you would play outside with, like a soccer ball or a volleyball, a baseball. Any of those shapes are considered spheres. They are curved and they're round. So it says, listen to the story. And then we're going to talk about the shapes that we see in the picture. We're going to mark an X on Lauren's gift. So this is a birthday party going on right now for Lauren. We need to mark an X on her gift. So Lauren receives a gift. We don't know yet what the gift is. The item is solid and round with a curved surface. So again, we're looking for something that kind of looks like a ball or looks like a globe. Let's see if we can find it here. I see that we've got 2 cylinders starting over on this side. We've got toy blocks that's in a cylinder shape. We've got cones for the party hats, cubes for the presents. But then we've got this present that's wrapped out here that has a curve, kind of like the balloons. Go ahead and mark an X on the gift that is curved, like a ball. Turn the page. For numbers 1 and number 2, we're going to color in the objects that are shaped like spheres. So remember, a sphere is like a ball. It is round and it is curved. It does not have flat edges like the paper, and it is not like any type of square where the lines meet. It's going to have a nice rounded surface like a ball or a globe that we have in the classroom. So if you look at number 1, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 different shapes and objects. We need to color in only the ones that are spheres. If you look at the book, this would be a sphere number 1. The middle would be a sphere number 2. And actually, the little star at the top is hanging inside of a sphere, number 3. So we're looking at 3 different spheres for number 1. Now in number 2, they also want us to color the objects that are shaped like spheres. These are beads that are on a string. We've got a sphere bead, we've got the cones, we've got the cylinders, and we've got cubes. How many spheres do you see? If you see 2, you're correct. Go ahead and color those in until you can tell that those are the spheres that are a part of your beads. Nothing else should be colored in. You leave the other beads blank because they are not spheres. Go ahead and turn your booklet over. Number 3, point to the curved surface on the sphere and color the curved surface that you see. So they don't want you to go inside and just color in the bubble or the ball. They would like for you to show which sides would have the curve. Well, if you follow the curve of a sphere, it's going to go all the way around. So you can trace that line of the sphere all the way around the sphere until you make it back to the top. For number 4, it says mark an X on the object that has only a curved surface. So really cool, guys. When you're eating, your different foods may have different shapes. If you see here, you have a sandwich. That sandwich would be in the shape of a square, or since we're talking about 3-dimensional shapes, it's going to be in the shape of a cube. You've got a cheese stick right here that's going to be in the shape of a cylinder. And then you've got an orange that's going to be in the shape of the sphere. So we need to mark an X on the object that has only a curved surface. If we go over to the orange, we can put a nice X because that is the object on our plate that has a nice curved surface. It's in the shape of a sphere. Okay, guys, this is on your own page. You know that we do this on our own in class, so I'm going to give you the instructions and you can complete it at home. Number 5 says mark an X on the sphere. They give you the red sphere, the green cone, the blue cube, and the yellow cylinder. go ahead and mark which answer is going to be the sphere. If you chose the red ball, you are absolutely correct. Go ahead and mark an X on that one. We know that that's our sphere because it comes with the curved edges and no straight edges across, nice and curved all the way around. And then the last one, number 6, circle the objects that are shaped like a sphere. So this is everyday toys that we get to play with when we play sports. You've got a baseball, you've got the baseball bat, you've got a basketball, and the racket club. Which one do you think is a sphere? If you marked the baseball, you are correct. And if you marked the basketball, you are correct. Both of those objects are spheres. Good job, guys, and thank you for completing that lesson.